How do I know that it's the Holy Spirit and not just my emotions that are directing my life? This week's question is one every ambitious, hardworking person who's asked at some point in their hectic schedule. Friends, welcome to Bible Words. I'm Pastor Dave, your host. Thanks for tuning in as we consider this insightful question about balancing our life desires with God's will for our lives. Our question is raising the issue of how we use and evaluate our emotions in decision making, which is an excellent issue to raise before we make a life decision that will seriously impact our life. So understand, we're not talking about decisions like what we're going to wear today or which pizza we're going to order for dinner tonight, but decisions that have lasting impact on the direction and quality of our lives. So two Bible passages come to my mind when I think about this week's question. Both are found in the Old Testament. First in Proverbs 3, where he says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight." He, God, promises to make our life paths straight, which I think means directing them. But you notice that his promise of life direction is based on us following three prerequisites. Trusting him with all of our heart, so no doubting. Not leaning on our own understanding. He doesn't say don't use our understanding, but don't depend on it for our finite understanding. In other words, don't make a decision based on your emotions alone. Rather, in all your ways, acknowledge him, recognize his authority over our life, rather than running ahead on our own persuasion. I think trusting with all our hearts and acknowledging him in all of our ways would certainly require some serious time spent in prayer, asking the Holy Spirit to direct your path. But here's where it gets tricky, doesn't it? Waiting on God for his answer, his direction, which of course is the basis for asking this question in the first place, right? That of discerning between our confusing emotions and the Holy Spirit's clear direction. Well, I said there are two Bible passages that come to mind, and perhaps the second one will help us clarify in narrowing our answer down in Psalm 39. And as I share some of it with you, I want you to consider the different emotions that David cautions us about. He says, "Do not fret because of evildoers. Do not be envious toward wrongdoers. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land, cultivate faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in him, and he will do it. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. Do not fret because of him who prospers in his way. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Do not fret. It only leads to evil doing. But the humble will inherit the land and will delight themselves in abundant prosperity." Friends, these are Bible words that one should read, often meditate on every day of your life decision-making process. Why? Because they're filled with so much of God's wisdom. There is such a wide scope to our emotions, is there not? But notice what we are being cautioned about. 3 times we're cautioned about fretting or being fearful in our decision making. Envying others' success is never a good basis for making a wise decision. Wise decisions are made within the framework of faith in God's greatness and goodness, along with our own faithfulness and our present roles and responsibilities. Why he says cultivate faithfulness in the land. If we're serious about wanting God's direction, then our faith relationship with him has to be the priority of our lives. As we delight ourselves in our faith connection to him, guess what? He gives us the delight of our lives. He gives us peace of heart to the path he's directing us to. But that is not a decision that is made in haste, he says. Rest in the Lord, waiting patiently for his direction to our hearts and minds is a faith choice that reflects we really do trust in God's wisdom in directing our lives. So anger and wrath are never emotions that help us make wise choices. Neither fearing or frustration are from God. What we are told is that humility of mind reflects a confidence in God's goodness. And this is what puts us on a life path that leads to the delight of abundant prosperity. So pray, seeking God's wisdom. Evaluate and eliminate emotions that are based in fear and frustration. Allow the Holy Spirit the time that's needed to shape you before sending you on a path into the next season of your life. Friends, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share Bible words with your friends. Let me know if you have any further questions about following God's will. See you next week.